guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little honest chit chat sit down video with you guys. I'm just kind of talk about the things that are on my mind, because when I start to overthink, it takes me to a place I don't really like, and I feel like it's good for me to express it. And in my head, I just kept thinking I can't be the only one that thinks like this or feels some of these same feelings. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Also, side note, please, if you hear any shuffling in the background, that is my lizard who has decided to pick this moment to start wandering around. So you may hear that noise on and off in the video today. Love him dearly, but he always picks the best timing to do that. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. Life is just so hard to navigate, and it kind of got me thinking, like, as a kid, you are always kind of, at least for me, always kind of looking for like the next adventure and wanting to be able to do things that you see other kids doing, but maybe you weren't old enough to do that yet. And I don't know if it was like this for anybody else growing up, but you always get told to not grow up too fast. Like, this time, doesn't last forever, and to not rush it. And I fully understand that now. I feel like now that I'm in my 30s and I'm trying to navigate that, and I feel like I had little glimpses of what it was like to be an adult in my 20s, but overwhelmed. I didn't have a whole lot of responsibilities. I was still living at home. Um, I was going to school. I was working, but I didn't really have any like major bills that I had to pay for or things that I needed to worry about, because my parents were taking care of that. My dad and my stepmom were the ones, truly supporting me, even though at the time I probably felt like life was hard. um, but I got to my 30s, like, I am 31 now, and I could literally feel the emotions building up when I was headed towards my 30th birthday. And when it finally hit, it just felt like life slapped me in my face. um, and that's not going to be the same experience for everybody, but if you are experiencing that, then I get you. I'm here with you. We're going through it together. um, but yeah, I felt like I just got probably overwhelmed, mostly by my own doing, because I felt like I was meant to be in a certain place by this point, or at least I'd always envisioned myself being in a certain place in my life. Um, and that has a lot more to do with society and kind of the mold that society kind of built in my head, and me trying to fit into that mold. Um, but truthfully, everybody's on their own journey, and not one journey looks the same. Like, everybody's going to have different experiences, going to go through different like trials and tribulations. Like, there's just going to be so many things that people can't tell you, but I honest to goodness wish that there was a manual. I really wish that there was some kind of manual that told you how you're meant to navigate life. And it's like, I think about all my time in school and stuff, and like, yeah, some of the things I learned are great, but like, I wish someone would have taught me some of the things that I'm learning now, so I would have been in a better place to deal with those things now. Because trying to figure out yourself, figure out how life works, how to support yourself, on top of dealing with all of the other things that are happening in the world. And also, if you deal with any type of mental health issues or anything of that sort, it just becomes a cluster of overwhelm. That's the best way I can describe it. I just feel like it's just always something after the other, or the second you think that maybe you've got things figured out, something else happens. And I just don't think I was prepared for that. And I apologize if this chat ends up being all over the place, but like I said, it's going to be an honest chat, a little bit of a ramble, because I just wanted to share my thoughts and feelings on it. Um, and just let anybody else know that if you're dealing with this as well, that you're not alone. Like, you're not alone in what you feel, and how you, if you feel like you're in a place in your life where you thought maybe you'd be further along or anything like that, you're not alone. Like, many people struggle with this, including myself. Um, but this whole thought process honestly came about because I was watching a vlog, and it probably has a lot to do with this time of year. I started looking at the content of this vlog and thinking like, oh, I want to be there. I want to be out there. I want to be experiencing things. If I want to go somewhere and enjoy myself for a couple of days, I want to be able to do that. And I feel like it is so hard to have that kind of balance or that form of freedom to be able to pick up and go, or travel here, travel there, without thinking about all of the other responsibilities that you may have. Because, yes, of course, I could just go and take a vacation, but then do I have the time off to be able to do that? Will I have the funds to be able to do that and still pay the rest of my bills? Because cost of living is increasingly insane. Like, it's just getting so expensive, especially in the area that I live. I live in one of the most expensive areas in Maryland, and like, rent, groceries, all of that stuff is just constantly increasing. And I just feel like I, with like thinking about all those things, realizing that like I just don't want like this current life and where I'm at right now. I just don't want that, and I don't know how to shake it and get myself to where I want to be. I feel like every time I try, maybe I'm not trying hard enough or sticking with it long enough, but I just feel like, is it ever going to change? And I know that I have to keep trying because there is no other choice. There's no other solution. You just have to keep at it and just know and have faith that things will come around when it's time. But it is so hard to keep up the energy and the positivity to just try to stay on the right track. Like, even this, for example, like starting YouTube was something that I always wanted to do, and I was super excited and really proud of myself for actually starting and doing it. And I think I started this in what, October. I haven't been doing it for very long, but even the fact that I have been like consistent with my recording and trying to learn different things when it comes to editing, and wanting to put a lot more time and effort into the content that I create, has been just something that's been really nice. But it's also something that can be really hard because it takes a lot of time, um, time that I don't feel like I always have accessible to me because I also have to work my regular job. And I'm not trying to complain, like, and I know it sounds like I am. There are much bigger problems in the world than what I'm obviously talking about now, but it is my personal like story and where I'm at. And these are the things that I know are just not conducive to me feeling fulfilled and having and leading a happy life. So I know that things have to change, and that's really just what I'm voicing here. But all that is to say that, like, I don't know, like, tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below, please, because I genuinely would also just like to know that I am not alone where I and where my brain is and like the thoughts that I'm having, because it's like, I don't know how to describe it. I was 20 years old or in my 20s, and in my head I just kept thinking I have time. Like I have time. I don't have to think about anything. Like I'll figure it out. Like as time goes on, I'm gonna figure it out. I guess I just magically thought that one day I was just gonna wake up and have all the answers and know everything and be in the place that I wanted to be. And that's just not reality. That's not how life works. And so I don't know. Like just tell me your thoughts on this, or the things that you have even done to help you cope with, you know, thoughts uh, in regards to this nature. So, yeah, I don't know. But I know that I will get to the place I want to be if I keep trying. It's just sometimes it's hard. It's really hard. There is no right or wrong answer, right? That's what they always say. And you're never truly going to know what it is that you want if you don't look for it, try things, learn new things, experience things. And I don't know. We're kind of all over the place right now, but I know that I will get back to a better place. This is just my thoughts right now, guys. On also, side note, been holding this mug for a while, haven't taken many sips out of this, but I am drinking tea. This is one of my favorite teas. It's a lavender chamomile plus probiotics. It's one of my absolute favorite teas. I found it in CVS randomly one day. 'Cause I think I went over to CVS to buy like hair dye, because when I am bored or feeling like down, I just like to change up my appearance, and it normally is my hair. And so I went into CVS, and when I was looking around, I ended up finding tea, and I saw this one, and I was like, I'm going to try this. This sounds amazing, because I used to like chamomile, and then I kind of got to a point where I just really disliked it. And I think it was the brand of tea that I was drinking. I just didn't like how their chamomile tea tasted. Um, which I ended up getting this one, and I love it. It's great as a hot tea. It's amazing as an iced tea. Brilliant. If you guys haven't tried chamomile lavender tea, you definitely try it. Um, but yeah, I thought I'd brew myself a nice little thing of tea here to help also just kind of calm me and relax me so I don't go off the deep end with all of my thoughts. Because I think, especially if you keep them inside, it's quite easy to do that. Quite easy to do that. Um, but yeah, I didn't really have too much more to add in terms of this conversation. Sorry, wanted to take a sip. But yeah, I just really wanted to come out here and just kind of express a little bit about what was going through my head, and trying to find a way to release these thoughts, because they're going to happen. And that's one thing that I hope that you guys can take away from this, is that thoughts like this, they're going to happen. They will come up the least expected times, not the most convenient times. Um, but we have to do our best to try to not let those drag us down or get the best of us and prevent us from getting to the place that we want to be. Because I think very quickly could I have let these thoughts just take over. And then what happens from there? I end up sitting on the couch, unhappy, and possibly crying and sad for a good portion of the day, not having any energy to do anything, because I'm sad that my life isn't where I want it to be yet. Yeah, I'm sad, but like doing that's not going to change anything. Doing that's not going to get me anywhere. So we just have to do our best to acknowledge those thoughts, embrace those thoughts, but then also see how we can, one, either use those to change our perspective or change where we're at, or two, to use that as motivation so that we don't have to keep thinking that. But as a side note to that, we're humans and we're always going to be looking for the next greatest, biggest thing. I remember when I was living with my parents, my husband was living with me as well. And we just were at a point where we wanted anything and everything to be able to just move out and have our own space in our own place. And it felt like it was millions and millions and millions of years away. And we would go on walks all the time and talk about how it'd be just so great if we could just finally get out of this space. And then it happened. And not once did I really and truly take in the fact that it happened. I think the first night living in this space, I was like in our bedroom and we were just kind of laying in bed. Nothing was set up, everything was still in boxes. The house was a mess. Our roommate hadn't moved in yet. um, but we were just like, wow, like this is our house, like we live here now. But now I don't ever think about that. Never think about that until this moment. Like I never think about the fact that like where I once was, I was wishing that version of me was wishing, praying and hoping to be in this place now. And now I'm here and I'm not. I don't even think about it. Now I'm just thinking about the next thing and where I want to be next. So like take that as well with like a grain of salt, but like think about that. Like we're always going to want to be somewhere else or doing something else. It's how life works. And we just have to be patient with ourselves, be kind, and be gentle with ourselves and with one another. And eventually we will get there. But let's also just not forget these little moments that we do have. And when we do accomplish something that we've wanted for so long, or even for just a few minutes, like let's embrace that and be in that moment and be grateful for it. And then keep it pushing. I don't know if any of this made any sense to anybody, but this was good. This was good for me to just even have the conversation. So hopefully, if you are watching this, you were able to take something from it. Let me know down below again, like your thoughts on all of this, and if you've also struggled to kind of navigate your life coming into adulthood or even entering your 30s like I have, because I feel like the 30s is what's hitting hard. um, but I'm also happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be in a place to even be sitting down and making this video. But that's all that I have. So thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. I do plan to make more videos um, like this. And yeah, that's all that I have. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.